Respected Vice Chancellor, Dr. Muthamichelvan, respected Pro Chancellor, Professor Vinay Kumar, respected Dean, School of Law, Dr. Sri Sudha, Mr. Praveen, Mr. Srivatsan, respected teachers of law, Dean Medicine of SRM, my dear students and parents, very good morning to all of you. Friends, you have chosen one of the leading institutions of India to pursue your legal studies. You must feel privileged for choosing this institution, particularly the School of Law run by SRM. Of course, I have long association with the SRM, particularly the Vice Chancellor. I have participated in many of the functions here. And I have seen the institution growing steadily with quantity and quality. And in that, as Vice Chancellor has put it correctly, nationally, you have come as 12th in the rank. It's not an ordinary joke to be 12th out of more than 1,000 institutions in this country. Therefore, you must be happy for choosing this institution. And as it is said, you must try to mingle with all kinds of students, not only from law faculty and all other students from various departments. I am saying this because law is said to be the command of sovereign authority which prescribes course of action. You will be taught by your teachers in the first class what is law. There are so many definitions of law. Ultimately, as your dean said, Roscoe Pound was the last man who defined the law, and subsequently nobody has thought of defining law because probably they felt that there is no purpose in defining law because everything becomes lawless. Roscoe Pound said, law is a social engineering. When he termed in the word social engineering, he said, why are you using the term engineering? He said, I am using the term engineering because it is moving. Law is a subject which is moving because it is forming social science. Law is a social science. It depends upon the society. Society depends upon the culture. Culture is a changing pattern. Law is never static and it always changes. Change of law. Somebody put in the parliament, a question was raised. Why are you making so many amendments to the Constitution of India? You know, the American Constitution has got only 2 articles. And the amendments are very rarest of rare. In our Constitution, we have 500 articles, 500 odd articles in our Constitution of India. And this Constitution has undergone amendment for many times. I think it is nearly 200. It is nearing 200 amendments. An issue was raised as to why such amendments are made. Does it mean that the Constitution of India is not that good document? And the makers of the Constitution of India have not thought about the Indian culture in a proper manner, and that is why the amendments are going on for 200 times. But the proper answer was given by the Supreme Court saying that when a law is amended, it means the law is living. When a child is born, it grows. The life and growth shows that there is a life, there is a growth. Like that, when somebody is having a life, it grows, it changes. A child never remains a child. It becomes a youth. It becomes an old man like me, 74 years old. Like that it goes on. So when some law is being amended, it means the law is a living instrument of the country. In any other part of the world, if the law is not amended, it may mean that the people are not with a living character there. But in India, the law is a living character because people of India are living. When the living people are dealt with the law, that law has to change from time to time and place to place. What was law in 1949, when the Constitution of India was signed for the first time, is not law today. And there is no purpose in retaining a part of the Constitution which becomes an alien to the living condition. Therefore, the law is amended. Property law, we had the fundamental right to property under Article 31 of the Constitution of India, and that has been removed sometime in 1976. That is because the lawmakers felt that the property is no more a basic living character of the man. Something else is required. Education is more important. Equality is more important than the property and all that. Therefore, they taken away the property right because they felt that social justice is a concept. And the property which is accumulated to the individuals should have to be taken away for the benefit of the entire country. And that is why an amendment came into existence in 1976, taking away the property right from the concept of the fundamental right. Now we have got the property only as a legal right. We have got only the Transfer of Property Act, and that is not a fundamental right as such. Therefore, the change makes the march of law. Friends, you have chosen a subject, law, which always marches ahead, and you must always go in accordance with the change. It is said that the learning is a continuous process. Learning is a continuous process, particularly in the subject of law which you have chosen. And there is no purpose in studying of the Transfer of Property Act. There is no purpose in studying of the Land Tenure Act, which we have studied in 1972 in the law college. And those things are all rudimental laws now. Land tenure we have done. I have disposed thousands of cases under the land tenure law, particularly in Ooty and Kodaikanal and other places. And these things have become rudiment now because there is no question of land tenure now. And it changes now. The latest concept of law is something different. Therefore, you must think about the latest. When you enter into the law course, you decide about your future. What sort of law you want to go. It is not like a doctor. Like an BBA student, when you go there, you start your career as an academician, and as to what sort of doctor you want to be, whether you want to be a surgeon, whether you want to be a physician, whether you want to be a specialist, whether you want to be an inventor. Like that, you must make up your mind from the beginning when you start your law course. Therefore, friends, think about the latest developments in law, latest subjects in law. You got the environmental law. Environmental law is the latest law in the field. United Nations every day, UNEP every day talks about the environmental law. I am a life member of the UNEP. And we talk about the environmental law because this century, the remaining part of the century is going to be a challenge against the environment. Because nature is showing its fury now. And the cloud burst is not a normal course. But the flood is a normal course. Cloud burst is not a normal course. Cloud burst happens every day. Yesterday it was in Himachal Pradesh. Last week it was in Kerala. Like that you find the environment changes, and how to make law to suit to the environment, the changing environmental position. How to make people to understand as to how to behave in such a natural fury, and what is the law required. We have got lot of environmental laws now. And you got, as it is said, the criminology. In my subject, criminology, it appears to be the drugs are everywhere. Worldwide, the drugs phenomena is uncontrollable. And what are the law? What law we are having? We have got so many acts, so many statutory provisions. We are unable to control the drug movement throughout the world. And what step is to be taken? And you find the piracy. You find the maritime law. Maritime law is the latest law, how to meet the sea piracy. And these are the subjects which are to be taken. And forensic sciences. Forensic sciences are related to medicine as well as law. And particularly in a criminal case. When you want to become a criminal lawyer, you must necessarily know the forensic science and how to investigate and how the forensic department goes on. Investigation normally fails. Therefore, the lawyer should take advantage of that failure of investigation. In a murder case, suppose there is a cold-blooded murder and there is nothing traceable and no material recovery is being done in respect of the materials used for the purpose of commission of the offence. How to trace? It has happened in Rajiv Gandhi's case. Dr. Chokalingam was a person, a great criminologist of India, and in fact he is world-renowned criminologist. And based on a damaged skull, he was able to find out the accused. He was able to find out the reason for that is the forensic science, and that is relevant now. Now you find the cyber technology, the cyber crimes. Cyber crimes are uncontrollable. Nobody is able to trace the cyber crimes. And you may not believe me, in the Madras High Court when I was a judge for 7 years, I have not seen a lawyer having knowledge about the cyber crimes. And now we are having only 2 lawyers in the entire High Court who can argue about the cyber laws and cyber crimes and all that. And that is why these are the subjects which you have to choose. And by choosing these subjects, not only that you are going to flourish as a lawyer, but you are going to help the society to resolve various problems which the society is facing now. And therefore, my dear friends, having chosen to the subject of law, you must think about the society. You just take from the beginning of India, from Independence Day, most of the leaders, most of the legislators, most of the lawmakers, they were lawyers. They were renowned lawyers. They were all practicing, flourishing lawyers, but particularly in Uttar Pradesh and other places. They have given up their law profession for the purpose of the country. That situation has come now for the lawyers. Please, lawyers, think about the society. Society has to be shaped by professional people like lawyers, because the lawyers are expected to know everything. Because that is why you must know. You know about the medicine when you go to forensic science. You go to engineering because you go to construction failure for which a case is being met with. And in the case of arbitration cases, in the case of mediation cases, in the case of cyber crimes, in the case of maritime laws, in all these cases you find, as a lawyers, you are dealing with the entire system of the world as such. That is why it is said that the law deals with everything. Because everywhere it is law. When you are an engineer, you are bound by law. You are a lawyer, you are bound by law. You are a judge, you are bound by law. You are the President of India, you are bound by law. You are the Prime Minister of India, you are bound by law. You are anything, as a normal citizen, you are bound by law. And that law is codified as a constitution, a parent document of the country. Normally, constitution is not stated as a law of the country. It is a basic document of the country. And because every law comes under the Constitution of India, you cannot enact any law against the provision of the Constitution of India. You cannot act as the President of India against the Constitution of India. You cannot act as a Council of Ministers against the Constitution of India. You have to act only within the purview of law. The lawmaking power is given to the Parliament and the state legislature, and these lawmakers must make law only in accordance with the Constitution of India. That is why the Constitution is a basic document from which you find the law evolves, and when the evolution of law comes up, you read the latest position of law to see that the country is flourished because of your knowledge. Your acquisition of knowledge by learning process is very, very important, because every day there are judgments on a particular concept of law. Today Supreme Court gives a judgment, and after 1 week you find the same Supreme Court will give another interpretation. That is because law is capable of being interpreted based on your human sense. The human sense makes the law interpretation different. And today, what was interpreted about a crime, about a rape case, the 1976 is different now, and the law is different. Every subject is like that. Civil law, it is like that. In civil law, partition law, what was there in 1950 is not a partition law now. And like that you find everywhere it changes, and so property changes. And therefore, friends, you have got an opportunity, not like us. In 72 when we joined in law college, It was, in fact, it was a very big building. Law College building, Madras Law College building was one of the biggest buildings in the country, because it was one of the 3 chartered high courts. Because 1886 the Chartered High Court of Calcutta was started, and the next month it was Madras High Court, and the third month it was Bombay High Court. These are 3 Chartered High Courts of India, started by the Queen's Charter. And when we went to Law College was adjacent to the High Court, and a very, very magnificent structure it was. But then we had no other facilities except to listen to our teachers. Our teachers were all very, very, very great personalities. We can never forget about our teachers. The teachers of law, whether V.N. Subramaniam, Bala Subramaniam, these are all the people, when they come to the dais, they won't stand in a place like me. When you ask me to go as a lecturer, I won't stand like this. You will just go on going round to these dais. When Indian Penal Code, when it starts, what is an offence, what is a crime, what is a murder, what is a theft, like that you find he will explain everything. And in a contract, what is a consideration? What is a contract? What is an agreement? What is an enforceability contract? Like that he will discuss. Transfer of Property Act. What is a mutual agreement between the parties for the purpose of transfer of immovable properties? What is immovable properties? Like that you find those teachers were only the sources for us at that time. But now it is not only the teachers who are the sources for you. You have got many sources throughout the world. If you have a doubt, go to Google. Put your doubt, then you get immediately the latest version about legal position. Therefore, you have got, in addition to the teaching faculties whom you are having, you have got the knowledge which is available already on record. And that you can always get. The latest position of law you can always learn. And in addition to the teachers who are teaching in the class, that is very important. Listening to teachers in the classroom is very, very important, because listening has got a psychological effect to become a man. A child becomes a man by listening. When you listen to a teacher, it is totally different from you are reading from a book. You listen it because a teacher already has read the book, and then he has applied his mind, and then he was teaching his knowledge about the law. Then listening is very important, and in addition to listening, you can always go to the latest version about law whenever you are facing the world. Then friends, I will conclude with a word. While teaching in a law course, you take everything easy. You don't be very, very you must be very, very liberal. And only thing is, you learn. And we have learned, I have learned it. I have got 15 medals, gold medal. What is the use of this medal? I don't know. Because in the practice, it has no meaning. But as a student, we have been listening our teachers throughout, and I never prepared for the examination at any point of time. Learning I have learned from my teachers, and these teachers' words have entered into the mind, and that is what American president said. I was sitting as a last man. I was a cobbler's son sitting. Abraham Lincoln, he was made to sit as a last man in the classroom. But then he said that I do not know anything about law. But my teacher was teaching something loudly about the legal position. It entered into my mind. I never read law. I never read any book. But then I became a good lawyer. I became the President of India. That is the reason why you must listen from the teachers and then go to book and then learn from the people and see that you come into the profession. Last but not least is that please start reading law thinking that you should become a lawyer. See, when I study MBBS, I must think that I should be a doctor. There is no purpose in studying MBBS and going to IAS. What's the purpose? Government spends so much of money for studying medicine, for treating the people, not to go to IAS officer and sit as a collector. Government doesn't want like that. Like that, a lawyer, when you start studying law, think to become a lawyer. Allied with that, you think about a justice. Like that, you think in that line. Only then you can develop your system as such. And with that goal, you must come up. At least think that you must become a magistrate. You become a subject. You become a district judge. You become a high court judge. Then a Supreme Court judge if God wills. Like that, you find you must have an ambition like that. Start with that ambition, start with the latest technology, use all technology which is available in this campus, which is for your benefit, as our Vice Chancellor has put it very correctly, and use to the maximum possible extent, not for your benefit alone, but for the benefit of the entire country. And when the entire country is benefited because of your knowledge, SRM is going to be one of the most important institutions in the world. With these few words, I congratulate every one of you, and I greet every one of you, particularly the parents, for having chosen this college. And I pray Lord Almighty to shower all blessings to every one of you. Thank you very much.